July 26, Disclosure Day on Capitol Hill, as the House Oversight Subcommittee on National Security, the Border, and Foreign Affairs held a hearing about unidentified anomalous phenomena, or UAP. The committee laid out its goals early on, with multiple members saying they wanted to remove the stigma around reporting UAP, which used to be known as UFOs.
This is an issue of government transparency. We can't trust a government that does not trust its people. We're not bringing little green men or flying saucers into the hearing. Sorry to disappoint about half y'all. We're just going to get to the facts.
The facts were laid out by the committee's three witnesses: former fighter pilots Ryan Graves and David Fravor, along with intelligence officer turned whistleblower David Grush. Both Graves and Fravor testified they have direct experiences with UAPs. Commander Fravor was one of the pilots in the air when this now infamous Tic Tac video was captured off the coast of California in 2004.
Did this object come up on radar or interfere with your radar or the USS Princeton?
The Princeton tracked it, the Nimitz tracked it, the E-2 tracked it. We never saw it on our radars. Our fire control radars never picked it up. The other airplane that took the video did get it on a radar. As soon as it tried to lock it, it jammed the radar, spit the lock, and he rapidly switched over to the targeting pod, which you can do in the F-18.
In addition to jamming most of the airplane's highly sophisticated tracking systems, something no adversary nation could do, Commander Fravor said the Tic Tac craft pulled maneuvers that would literally kill human pilots.
We have nothing that can stop in midair and go the other direction, nor do we have anything that can, like in our situation, come down from space, hang out for 3 hours, and go back up.
Not all UAPs go back up, though.
Mr. Grush, finally, do you believe that our government is in possession of UAPs?
Absolutely, based on interviewing over 40 witnesses over 4 years.
And where?
I know the exact locations, and those locations were provided to the Inspector General, and some of which to the intelligence committees. I actually had the people with the firsthand knowledge provide a protected disclosure to the Inspector General.
In at least some of the recovered craft, Grush says bodies were also recovered.
Do we have the bodies of the pilots who piloted this craft?
As I've stated publicly already in my News Nation interview, biologics came with some of these recoveries, yeah.
The Pentagon and the federal government deny possession of any UAPs, crashed or otherwise. Still, Grush said elements within the federal government have been aware of crafts of non-human origin since at least the 1930s. When lawmakers pressed Grush to divulge more details to back up his claims, a common thread emerged. Grush wanted to answer lawmakers' questions, but couldn't publicly because the material is still largely classified. If lawmakers want to know more, they will need to meet with Grush in a secured facility known as a SCIF.
Can you give me the names and titles of the people with direct firsthand knowledge and access to some of this crash retrieval, some of these crash retrieval programs, and maybe which facilities, military bases the recovered material would be in?
I can't discuss that publicly, but I did provide that information both to the Intel committees and the Inspector General.
And we could get that in the SCIF if we were allowed to get in a SCIF with you. Would that be probably what you would think?
Sure, if you had the appropriate accesses, yeah.
Several members of the committee previously requested the clearances to discuss the classified material Grush has access to, but those lawmakers have so far been denied those clearances. While much of what lawmakers wanted to know went unanswered during the public hearing, some questions were easier to answer than others.
Is it possible that these UAPs would be probing our capabilities? Yes or no, Mr. Graves?
Yes.
Grush?
Yes.
Fravor?
Definitely.
Is it possible that these UAPs are testing for vulnerabilities in our current systems?
Yes.
Yes.
Possible.
Do you feel, based off of your experience and the information that you've been privy to, that these UAPs provide an existential threat to the national security of the United States? Mr. Graves?
Potentially.
Yes, sir, potentially.
Same answer, potentially.
Yeah, I'd say definitely, potentially.
And it's because of that potential to cause harm to the U.S., lawmakers said the work to uncover the origins, ownership, and operational intent of UAPs needs to continue. There's already some legislation moving through Washington aimed at forcing the federal government and private contractors to divulge what they know or face consequences. After Wednesday's hearing, lawmakers said it's likely more legislation is on the way. For more unbiased, straight-fact reporting about UAPs and other military matters, be sure to check out SAN.com.
Thanks for watching. In this time of media mistrust, Straight Arrow News is on a mission to bring you unbiased, fact-based reporting. So like and subscribe to Straight Arrow News below. And to see all of our content, go to straightarrownews.com.